Welcome to a podcast capturing the antics of two geeks who talk about video game culture and influence, both old and new, all through chaotic banter and tangential tangents that make no sense. My name is Mask.
No eating, no sleeping, just reading.
This is my pal Red.
Here, let me do my own thing. This is Joe Mama.
And together we make the Reddmasq Podcast. This is episode 13. This episode contains mature content, including language and situations. Viewer discretion is advised.
Fucking, what is there to say about Project Cross Zone? Because it's like the most casual, easy, turn-based. What is that genre?
Tactical turn-based RPG.
Yeah, and it throws in some fighting game stuff for whenever you actually attack an enemy. Because it's, you have to. The way you do it is you time. It's very simplified, but you have commands that do specific attacks whenever as you're attacking the enemy, and you have to time them properly to get like criticals or maybe like cross hit them with another person so that they get frozen. You start build up more super.
Right.
But it's all like
gimmick.
It's like all very simplified, and it's kind of neat, but it's more flash, less substance.
Right.
But on topic of a lot of flash, no substance, the fucking crossover dialogue is amazing.
This is a game that is a Bandai Namco cross Sega cross Capcom game. It's about the lore and the lack thereof, and it's just about the fan service. It really is just about the fan service. There is way too much fan service in this game. Oh my god, if there's a definition for fan service, this game takes like 5 of them and just does them.
And this is actually like a series. It's currently a trilogy because it starts on the PS2 with Namco x Capcom.
Yep.
And then we move to the 3DS to get
Project Cross Zone.
Project Cross Zone 1 and 2. I played through Project Cross Zone 1 many years ago. And that was a lot of fun with all the fan service, even with characters that I had no idea who the fuck they were. It was just fun seeing them all interact.
It just introduces them to the characters in a Marvel vs. Capcom kind of format. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know about, like, people knew about the X-Men, but they didn't know about, like, Sansan or some of the weird Capcom characters before that. Same idea, except in a different kind of package. I'm experiencing Project Cross Zone 2 right now, and I'm showing you some footage with that. Having the Tekken background really helps me understand the Jin, Kazuya, Heihachi like interaction going on with that team.
Oh yeah, because in Project Cross Zone 2, Jin and Kazuya are a pair unit, so you get to see them at each other's throats the entire time. It's really funny.
Heihachi is just like young again, like his tag tournament appearances, which is crazy.
Yeah. So Heihachi is taking some goddamn mystery drug that has made him young again, and he's so young that Kazuya doesn't even recognize him. It's really great.
Yeah.
But it's basically just, and it's just funny because if you pair them together, if you put because Heihachi is a solo unit, so you equip him to any pair unit you want. So if you equip Heihachi to the other Mishimas, they'll one of their post dialogue for one of the post fight dialogues will just be Jin and Kazuya dunking on him, and he's just like, "Oh, I see. I'm the only thing you two will join together for, huh? I'm the only thing you two will stop fighting each other for. It's fucking great."
Another reason I played it is because I'm still playing some of the Phoenix Wright games. I'm on Prosecutor's Path right now, and having Phoenix and Maya in the game is also kind of interesting. The lawyer can't fight, but he's a assist character, so that makes him pretty fun.
Yeah, they're 2 characters, but they're a solo unit. Don't ask questions. It's because because pair units you move them around and do stuff. They just didn't put that with him.
You were getting mad
but it's
at me
really funny because
the dialogue in the game at points.
Yeah, he is.
I was just,
He's pretty fucking great. Like, I know for when you first unlock him, you're stuck with putting him on Morgan and Dimitri from Darkstalkers.
Mm-hmm.
And I know one of their dialogue has him throw out an objection and ask why the hell can Dimitri, as a vampire, be out in the sun? And then Dimitri explains that his vampiric aura protects him. And Morgan teases Phoenix with like, "You want to try that one again, big boy?" But I think one of my favorite dialogues though. It has to be when you have Phoenix with Ryu and Kin, because Maya will start talking about finding a waterfall to train under because she feels like she's losing her touch a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Ryu, the dorkiest motherfucker alive, just starts chomping at the bit like, oh my god, waterfalls are the best places to train. Can I come? Can I come? And it's just like the dumbest thing.
Waterfall without any ice.
Dirt. Stale bread. Jumping into light fierce.
There's enough context, but not enough context. If you know, you know.
I understand the jumping into light fierce because I use that to do the arcade mode of Super Street Fighter 4. Yeah, jump. Well, at least what I would do is I would jump in, do a heavy kick, crouch, and then crouch kick, crouch heavy.
Anyway, you ready for the segue?
For the segue, you mean like the Street Surfer in Yakuza?
You took all of my thunder from that. I just wanted to talk about Kiryu and Majima in Project
Go
Cross Zone
ahead.
2.
Do it.
You fucking loser.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to fucking beat you up virtually.
Don't worry. We'll be doing that in Foxy's later. Because you're the one.
Thank you.
You're the one who's good enough at those video games to kick my ass. Always and forever. I love you. Kiss me. Wait, what?
As soon as I'm done getting my foot upside your butt.
Sounds kinky.
That's not going in the bump. What the fuck?
No more bump in the trunk? What?
Can we talk about fucking your latest Yakuza adventures? Because, like, holy god.
Do your goddamn
Sexual
do your segue.
tension between co-hosts.
Do your goddamn segue
that was my
you wanted
segment.
to do.
We're pretty much good on that. Talk about Yakuza a little bit.
Fine. Whatever. I wanted you to talk about your thing with Project Cross Zone before we moved over, but
I've not played enough of it. No. I gotta get to the next couple of chapters. The bunny girl and the wolf girl and the fox girl are just not enough. Also, there is that type of fan service on the game.
Oh, yeah.
Your discretion is advised.
There are Valkyria Chronicle characters in the first game, at least.
Oh, and they weren't in the second. I thought there were, but there weren't.
There may be. I don't know. I haven't played enough of it. But I know the Valkyria Chronicle Super because that's one of the ones where she gets like this aura around her that goes wild, and it takes like the bust shot of her with her head and her breasts, and it's like her breasts are just going wild. They're just boinging all over the place, and it's like, you guys animated that. That is a 2-dimensional animation that you did. You goddamn goofballs. I played this game while I was in high school, as my free time. Like, oh, I finished my work. I'm going to play on my 3DS now because we're allowed to do that. We're high schoolers. They trust us. They really shouldn't, but yes. So I'd be doing a super and like, can I just skip this? Can I just skip this? This is really hard to watch while I'm playing. Because I'm not...
I actually do have a story like that. At the comic book store that I was telling you about earlier, they would play like this magical girl scene on like the television, and like the transformations were enchanting to my teenage self, let's say, and I don't want to go into anything from there.
I feel funny.
Yeah, pretty much that. That's the experience. That's the core experience that you're getting at, which this game has brought you as well.
Yeah.
Anime, making people awkward since high school. I played more Project Cross Zone. So this is going to be after the time I barely played like 2 chapters of it before. And I've got notes here for what I'm going to talk about.
Oh, fun.
I missed the whole menu about upgrade systems, because the game doesn't kind of teach you it. You're kind of expected to press buttons and find out on your own.
It's also probably in a tutorial somewhere that you just can easily skip by.
Probably, yeah. I got to power up like characters' moves and things and equipped items. But you can also use those for like secondary skills, for other SP-based things that you can do, like before you enter battles, like abilities. Kind of like with Pokemon, you have more than one ability though in this game. You can actually give your like teams like 2 or 3 abilities, depending on how many levels you have.
Yeah, that tracks with the previous game as well. I can't say the first game because the first game was Namco Cross Capcom on the PS2.
Technically, yeah.
And that was Japanese only. But so the second game is Project Cross Zone 1, and the third game is Project Cross Zone 2. How fucking confusing.
At least they didn't do a Tekken 7, where that game is basically a crossover game that's not Project Cross Zone 4. because it has Akuma.
Well, it's guest characters. That's different.
Yeah,
we're gonna argue about Soul Calibur.
It in there.
Who's the better Soul Calibur guest character, Link or Yoda?
Yoshimitsu.
Oh, fucking yeah. That's true.
Yes. But anyway,
what a fun...
another thing I found, you can upgrade the solo characters. You literally press the X button on the upgrade screen for that, and then you do that.
Oh, yeah.
Did I probably miss something with, like, unbalanced items and revivals? Because, like, you can just spam as many items as you want on your turn with, like, no penalty. You can win the game if you have enough money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can. That's, like, something I used in Project Cross Zone 1. I abused that to take on the final missions.
I would imagine, yeah.
Because in the final missions, it's like it basically expects you to be spamming that shit because like, oh, the final boss is in the middle. If you hit him, he'll counterattack you and instant kill whoever attacked him.
Right.
So it's like this constant need to run in and revive and then use items to heal back up.
They're just spamming
and then
revives.
Attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, spamming revives to counteract his bullshit instant kill, which also sometimes he'll do an instant kill thing that hits multiple characters, so you just lose everybody. It's a pain in the ass. That's all I remember about it.
That. Another thing is, like, is there like another revive system? Because I'm just using the items for that right now, because, yeah.
I mean, the one they teach you in the tutorial is where you run up with another unit and press a button to revive them with. If someone goes down and you run over to them, you'll see the button. It might be like, why?
Oh, I didn't show me the button, so I probably needed to wait another turn or something.
No, you can do it on your turn, no problem. You probably just ignored the tutorial when we played it and didn't register it.
Yes.
I mean, the tutorials are very front-loaded. I don't blame you. But thankfully, I will say that the status effects in Project Cross Zone 2 are much better handled than in Project Cross Zone 1.
They actually work?
Well, it's not that they actually work, it's that they're easier to tell what's what. Because in the previous game, they were all the same icon with a different letter. So poison would be like, they were all these like fucking diamonds, and you'd have like P for poison or D for dropped or whatever the fuck, and it was impossible to tell what the hell any of it meant.
Like the code.
And now they've switched.
Bad, yeah.
It was very, very badly.
Alphanumeric is no bueno. Having pictures to help is much better.
Oh yeah, the pictures are way better. Because it's, I know exactly what that is. Like, I'm not trying to play fucking Dwarf Fortress right now. I don't need to deal with letters and deciphering what each one means.
Right, if you, like, get your opponent in a false stake, oh, that means they can't counterattack. Or if it's just like, oh, they're going to get stunned. Oh, it's just stars. That means they're not going to be able to move or attack next turn. So, there you go. And I'm finding good strategies in using these every so often. And it's good stuff.
And amongst your attacks, you always have the deal less damage, but have a chance to inflict a stats effect, which is always nice. In Project Cross Zone 2, you get 3 attacks, and you get any 3 attacks that you want. In Project Cross Zone 1, you got an attack for each ability you had unlocked, and if you decide to use all of your abilities in one attack, you get another attack added on, which you can just choose whichever.
Oh, you get actually 4 attacks then.
Yeah, you would get your. Actually, no, I think you get all 5. I think you would get 5,
wow.
And if you do all 5, you would get a 6th attack that you can choose.
Oh, geez.
Basically, you get 5 attacks, 1 for each ability you have. You can use the same move over and over again, or you can use all of your attacks in one go to get an extra one.
Right, okay.
Like how you would have 3 attacks with 5 options. You would choose which of those 5 options you wanted to go with. 1 all the same, or like do 3 different ones or whatever.
So I've got to definitely look into that more.
Project Cross Zone 1 was very simplified in terms of the strategy, because it's like, why would I not go get the extra attack in there?
Right. In terms of like how far I am into the game now, like we are on chapter 16. We just got done with the not Street Fighter titled level, Road something or other. I think it's like Road Brawler or something.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, they do like a knockoff title. And yeah, you get Ryu and Ken in that level, and then you fight Bison for the first time, and there's a bunch of other plot stuff going on. The plot at this point is just like 7 different tangents. We don't know what's going on. Pick the one you want.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a fucking... The plot in both games is very messed up. We're just like, you have a bunch of villains running around, all doing their own things, taking advantage of the chaos for their own ends. Some of them wind up helping along with others. Like in the previous game, Yuri's around doing shit on her own, teaming up with whoever the fuck she wants. And eventually she teams up with you and becomes a solo unit for you to use.
Hey.
Oh, I found the title of the chapter, Road Combatants.
That one, yeah. Totally not Street Fighter, totally.
I mean, that's the joke, isn't it?
Yes.
Elisa, Ryu, and Ken join the party in this chapter.
I mean, Axel has something to say about him, and yeah, your typical beat-em-up characters, you know. I've still got to go through more of the dialogue with that. Also, I am 5 chapters away from the legendary Segata Sanshiro chapter, which,
oh, hell yeah.
I spoiled myself a little on the intro of it. He just gamed so hard, he became the Avatar character. He just entered the game. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's beautiful. Also, they do the theme, and it's great. I'm not allowed to play music, but go in the show notes. Go listen to this theme that, like, got funded by Warner Japan and shit. It's fantastic.
Oh, do you fight an Axel character?
The robot, yeah.
Yeah, the robot. Yeah, I'm seeing that on the wiki.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking hilarious.
It's one of the weird tangents going on in the game right there. The weird, like, side plots.
He's also. When do you get Axel as a solo character?
I think I got him like 4 episodes ago. I want to say you were aboard the Zenobia and taking care of bombs.
First chapter appearance, chapter 11.
5. Okay, I was close. We already talked about the Nintendo characters, how Xenogear and Xenoblade kind of like did their thing, and also which character made a comment about the Minato? I think it was Phoenix Wright because I had Phoenix Wright on the team, and like.
Oh my god.
Cosmos made a Minato comment, and it was just like, oh my god.
My god.
I can change the future. Anyway, we should be playing a video game right now, and we're not, so, we'll get to that. Yeah, we forgot.
We promised we were going to play out Foxy's after the episode, and then instead we went to sleep.
Yeah. Lazy Sunday, what you gonna do? We'll probably play it for next week.
This episode does not have a sponsor. We just want to bring people in to kind of take a look at the show, see what we have going on. If they like us, support us. Go to coffee.com/mask31 and check out our page, and feel free to consider donating.
Okay, I'm looking at the fucking wiki for Project Crosszone still.
Yeah.
Name, Leon S. Kennedy. Game series, Resident Evil 6.
Oh, this is the RE6 Leon. That's why it's like so far into the future. That was the weird giraffe one.
Fuck if you think I keep up to date on horror games?
I don't know too much Resident Evil either. I still kind of want to play 4, but I'm not sure if I want to play the Wii edition or the Quest edition.
Okay,
the PS5 edition is a little out of my way because I just don't have a PS5.
The Wii edition, based on what my older brother has said, the Wii edition is amazing.
Yes.
Because you get to aim your shots with the Wiimote,
yes,
which leads to absurd accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, instead of having to aim with the controller, you can just point at the screen and get headshots like that. And he was like, this is fucking amazing.
Yeah, that's really kind of the gimmick behind that, which is why the Quest version seems like it would be the better of the two. You get even more immersion, even more accuracy, and you can eat herbs all that you want. Yeah,
Devour the herbs in real life. Makes you mix them first. You want to get your max HP up.
Yeah. So yeah, like, if I actually do play a Resident Evil game, it'll probably be the Quest version. Unless I
we did play a fighting game together recently.
Oh yeah, we were going to talk about Soul Calibur. But not just any Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur 2, but the fan-made Plus edition.
This is this is a crazy mod that has been in the works for a while. It's still in the works. It's not complete yet. They haven't gotten the character models over yet. Though they've dolled them up really nice from existing models to look like, well, I mean, they look like Soul Calibur characters. They look like your Heihachi. They look like your cameo characters. They look like your
Just
Heihachi,
to be clear,
your Spawn, your Link.
Yeah. Yeah, you get your 3 guest characters all in the same game.
Also Siegfried.
Yeah, you also get extra characters that are getting added in, including Siegfried. You get to play as Inferno, or like you can play
Inferno.
on stages.
We didn't try Inferno.
There's some assassin. I tried it. Well, we tried Inferno, I feel like, but it crashed.
Oh yeah,
I think we were trying to do extra team battle and it crashed. It's to be clear, it's not a competitive rebalance because it's just what it is it's Soul Calibur 2, but there's more content. You get all 3 guest characters, you get extra outfits and skins for the characters. Like I only play Link because I'm a Nintendo turd.
Right, my old main, like, Tally is in the game, so, like, that's still where I kind of like have experience. So
Yeah. But Link has like, oh, he gets to be Fierce Deity Link. He gets to have a black
yeah,
tunic.
nice costume.
He gets
Very good, nice costume choices. Half of which I didn't catch, but there is one soul bad guy on a character. I forgot which one, but he's there.
Berserker gets a Shovel Knight.
Yeah.
like all right, sure. Oh God, what was the character you played where you found Cammy?
Oh God, it was my main. It was Talum.
So Talum had a Cammy from Street Fighter outfit, which is really funny. But I think the majority of our time was just playing random characters while I stuck with Link because he's all I know.
Yeah, we were fucking around with like just stuff. I was learning a little bit of Link, but like when it comes to Soul Calibur and like my other fighting game experience, this is like the most hodgepodge fighting game mechanics like cross-up mashup that you'll ever see. Like in terms of just like the characters and stuff, like that's perfectly fine. The mechanics, oh my God, there's quarter circles, there's like block buttons, there's like team battles like we mentioned earlier. There's stuff that like uses ridiculous inputs. Everyone has a stance in this game, and like it goes into more moves. Like it's just complexity on complexity into one big thick sandwich, and it's just delicious. Like this was a fighting game I played growing up, and like even if you just button mash, it's fun. I hate to say that like most fighting games button mashing is just like scrubby and looked down upon, but like no, you can totally get away with mashing in like Soul Calibur and just like it goes against conventional wisdom, but that's true.
Are you just saying that because that's how I kind of kicked your ass a couple times?
I didn't figure out that's how you did it. I know you wouldn't admit it.
I mean, my problem is I have a button mashing habit because my brain stops working. It's like if I try to think too hard, I'm just gonna freeze.
Right.
So I button mash whatever button I think I need to press. Like, oh, I'm gonna try a horizontal attack, so I mashed A bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for a short period of time, I took you into Link tutorials.
Right, because I was actually curious about how the character worked, because I didn't play enough Link growing up, apparently. Also, I played the HD version on 360, which didn't have the cameo characters.
I thought it would have Heihachi and Spawn.
I don't remember.
Hang on, I'm going to look this up. Soul Calibur 2. Both versions of the game also include 2 guest characters, Heihachi and Spawn.
Okay.
So HD has those 2. You don't get Link, because for you to have Link, you have to play it on GameCube, because Nintendo is a bit of a shit can like that.
Indeed.
But I was teaching you a little bit of that Link stuff where it's like his stances are going into his items. He gets boomerang, he gets bow, and he gets bomb. And every time I look at a tier list, he's like one of the lower ones because he's not that good.
Right. Like, as many mechanics as there are in this game, you can still lose to just like the simplest of shit with like most of these characters. Like Astaroth, I would imagine, is pretty high tier, for instance.
I think he gets like the best ultimate weapon though, because you saw what that fucking thing does. He gets the Great Fairy Sword.
Oh yeah, like weapon complexity, like different weapons and things like that. It's kind of like its own thing, and it's ridiculous too.
So something to say about all this stuff we're talking about. In the OG Soul Calibur 2, you have to unlock all this shit by going through the various modes, mostly going through the story/weapon master mode, where you'll be grinding money to buy weapons, beating missions to unlock things and progress through the story, and eventually you'll unlock the hard missions to unlock even more shit. Like that, like going through the hard missions is how you unlock Lizard. Like Soul Calibur 2 is what's that fucking Russian doll that you can just keep opening?
It just keeps having stuff come out of it.
Yeah, it's that fucking thing. Because on different maps, there's shops that have different weapons, so you have to go through and grind enough cash to get all the weapons for every character. And as you clear certain missions, you'll unlock modes, and the most special modes are the extra modes. Because you have your standard modes where you just choose a character, you choose your characters and go at it. But extra mode gives you access to you now can choose a custom weapon from the ones you've purchased. So, and Link, and I never realized how good Link was eating with his custom weapons, because he gets weapons from the whole goddamn series up to that point.
I mean, like, yeah, you got the Megaton Hammer, you have the cane, you've got all sorts of fun stuff going on with
that. Let me handle this because I know these weapons.
Sure thing.
So you get Cane of Burnia from A Link to the Past. It has like its major thing that it does is if you do a soul charge, you regain you like heal. It's really good, but it's kind of weird otherwise. You have the Magic Sword from Zelda 1. You have like an Armos Knight set from A Link to the Past. Just the Megaton Hammer, like you said, that's Ocarina of Time. Mm-hmm. There's the Bigoron Sword from Ocarina of Time. There's the Great Fairy Sword from Majora's Mask. There's the Bug Net that's from A Link to the Past. It's just the Razor Sword from Majora's Mask. Like every single weapon is pulled from some Zelda game up to that point. It's fucking amazing.
Even the flimsy little Bug Net, yeah.
Yeah. And the thing about the Great Fairy Sword is that it's hella broken because it has massive damage output. And it also heals you over time. Like, the whole time, you're just regaining, like, 1/10 of your HP every second. It's absurd.
I just like that Heihachi's ultimate weapon is his fist. It's literally called Tekken, and I can just do EDWFs on you.
Yeah, his ultimate weapon is just going back to the basics. Like, he's nerfing himself by using weaponry.
Clearly.
And the version we played, we used the GameCube version, and I think right now there's like bugs for version like whenever like
it's like
you played
0.9 something, I forgot.
Yeah, we played like 0.9.8.1.
Yeah.
I thought we downloaded 0.9.9, but I guess we were wrong on that.
Right.
But I need to say something. I think the bug was like if you're playing a character that wasn't on that version, so like whenever you played Heihachi or Spawn, your weapon would just bug out because it doesn't like the GameCube doesn't have that memory or whatever. I didn't read the story because the story is told in all text.
Right. Hope you like the Star Wars auto-scrolling text on the intro of the movie. I'm trying to make a video game comparison of Star Wars. What the hell is wrong with me? No. The parallax scrolling text in Star Wars, that's half your plot when you first started. Have fun.
And to be fair, Soul Calibur did have Star Wars guest characters.
It had Yoda and Darth Vader, so this is an apt comparison.
And the fucking Star Wars Unleashed character as well.
Oh yeah, the Force Unleashed, not Anakin or whoever, yeah.
Aiden, how long are you gonna be in here for? Are you leaving now?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Bitch. Okay. But like, I want to talk about how I was like trying to help you learn Link a little bit.
Sure.
But I know the character enough.
He has a lot of unique mechanics, and not just his stances. It's not just like the rolls and multiple throws, but it's also the fact that like it's not just the charge moves either. It's also the fact he has a parry and a guard break or something.
Yeah, every character has a guard impact and a parry. Yeah. Depending on what, if you do guard plus forward, it's a guard impact. Guard plus back, it's a parry. A parry, like, you basically like push them off to the side and make them go past you so that like you're now behind them and ready to swing. Mm-hmm. Guard impact is like you're a basic, like a third strike parry where you push them back and they're stunned and you have advantage. I'll often see people play like the hardest difficulty, and they'll get stuck in guard impact chains because while you're in guard impact stun, you can guard impact back. So like I've watched people on YouTube play like survival and try to get to as far as possible, and they'll get into these massive like they'll just get 10 back-to-back guard impacts with each other because the AI is input reading or whatever. But that's not something that's unique to Link. The stuff that he has that's unique is that he gets those projectiles with the boomerang and the bomb and the bow. Mm-hmm. And you can actually aim the bow if you use the right input. The bomb charges as you hold it out, but if you charge it too long, it blows up on you and you take damage. So that's fun.
All of them except the boomerang charge, am I correct?
Yeah, I don't think the boomerang charges.
All right.
And that shit hurts if it hits. Like you don't want to get hit by it, but in Soul Calibur you just have to sidestep.
Yep, it's a pretty easy game, to dodge. So you just sidestep, just like Tekken. Just sidestep Akuma's fireball.
Sidestep Akuma's fireball, you dumbass. But we found some fun moves. I always loved the grab animations in Soul Calibur 2.
Oh yeah.
And I recently was watching a video by what's that guy's name? He's the guy who does. Oh, here we go. It's J.M. Crofts. I usually find him on my feed for like But anyways, he was looking at the strangest inputs in fighting games, and he said he wasn't going to do the hardest inputs, like the pretzel motion for geese. And the one he shows in the video is this grab in Soul Calibur 2 from Ivy, which I'm going to go ahead and list the command out in using keypad. So we have 3, 7, 6, 2, 3, 1, grab. Just shake the fucking control stick and then grab.
So it's flash kick, half circle back, which is weird.
Yeah, even that's like not exactly correct.
Sort of.
What kind of half circle? What kind of half circle has you double back on an input before you continue the circle?
Mortal Kombat.
Okay,
that's dial-a-count.
Mortal Kombat doesn't count. Mortal Kombat doesn't count. They don't have motions. They have button inputs.
That's fair. Yeah.
They do not have motions. It is down, 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 and then a button, and you have a move. Motions it doesn't make any sense.
Do work in Mortal Kombat though, but I can imagine. It's not the same thing. It's not Geese's pretzel, but it is pretty tasty.
All right. I think I've gotten all my Soul Calibur out.
Very good. Yeah. Now you can celebrate by getting your Yakuza out.
My Yakuza.
Yeah.
The main bad guys right now are grooming children. So, guess how badly I want to beat the shit out of all of them.
Break them on your kneecaps.
Well, yeah, and it's grooming in the sense of like grooming child soldiers for their organization. Like they're like basically prepping them to be gangsters, to be their muscle, and it's fucked up. Because when you say child grooming, it's like, oh, what does that mean? And it's like, oh, that could mean a lot of things actually. So let's clarify.
Lot of things, none of them good. That could be a lot of things, none of them good.
But
I'd say when I was not yawning, because unlike you, I will do a double take if I yawn.
Yeah.
Anyway, keep going.
But it's like, I had to specify what kind of bad. I needed to specify what kind of bad are we talking about, because, yeah. But it's like the kind of thing that it's so bad that Kiryu winds up like resonating super hard with like with the things we're going up against, and he winds up like having flashbacks. It's fucking wild.
Huh.
He's like, oh my god, this is you get to see the flashback. And it's like, yeah, that would be what happens with him. He did have, yeah, it's a whole bunch of shit that happens, but I can't spoil much. I've just been doing a lot of sub stories right now, and also a little bit of the Dondoku Island for the cash influx. Very useful to have multiple grand to work with to upgrade my shit with, and all that good shit. I've been doing sub stories to get more stuff. I did a sub story, and all I got was this shitty T-shirt that probably sells for nothing.
Oh yeah, the Rockstar one. I joined at the end of that. Like,
yeah.
What is the beginning of that? He just like wants to inspire kids or something because he made this one kid's dream come true.
How it starts is you watch his ukulele performance at the mall. At the mall. Okay, You watch it at the mall, and he's like this completely different person at the moment. And then you like run into him a couple more times. You like fight off his old bandmates trying to beat him up for money. You find out he's being harassed by some people because of who he used to be, and all that shit. You basically just learn more about his past and talking. He's trying to bury his past because of how ashamed he was of how it didn't reach anybody. But you eventually find out that it did reach a single kid who is super sick and currently being shipped out to like Texas for a surgery. Aww. So you inspire him to play you basically inspire him at his next concert. So he plays normally until his very last song, when he plays his old music for that kid specifically.
Amazing.
And it has got a bit of humor to it, because you find out exactly why no one listens, because everyone who came to the concert just walks away as he plays his old music.
Kind of inconsiderate, but harsh reality of it all. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like they're even paying attention to us talking, so it's whatever. It's like, oh, Who cares that this little kid is having fun? Fuck this.
If you're passionate about something, do what you love. That's what the takeaway is.
Yeah, and I also did a sub-story.
And you did that mission, and all you got was a silly T-shirt.
Yeah, but, It's the thought that counts, I guess. I have to see how much it sells for. I have to go to a fucking pawn shop for that, though.
Hopefully for enough to make it worth your while. We're talking about the job system now.
Yeah, the job system is not hella work this time. You're not getting a literal new job. You're just going on vacation things where it's like, oh, go on have a water gun fight and learn, and then have the inspiration to be a gunslinger. Or the first one you get is just like you basically go swimming. You do a bunch of aqua activities. You go surfing. You swim with a dolphin, and then you go tubing, and you eventually learn about the.
What's the dolphin's name?
So this is the dolphin in this case is just a generic dolphin.
God
but
dang,
the dolphin,
the
dolphin you're talking about. Oh, Echo, funny. You're hilarious. No, the dolphin that actually has a name in this game is called Dolphine, and she takes you to and from Dondoko Island, which I will get to.
Okay.
But you do all these water activities for this one as like your freebie when you get introduced to the job system, and you learn about the Aquanaut, which you get to equip a surfboard. And I think one of its little perks is that every time you do a normal attack, you'll regain some HP. So it's like a little bit of a more support style job, which is nice. I like those, even if I'm terrible at doing this shit properly. I'm awful at strategizing in all RPGs. It's why I had to use a guide to beat the final boss of Octopath Traveler 1, and I still haven't finished Octopath Traveler 2. I need to do that at some point. Damn.
Look, you'll just do the thing of doing enough side quests in the game to just have overpowered gear enough to just beat the final boss just like that. That's how this game's going to go with you.
Well, in this game, yes. Octopath Traveler is a different story.
Right.
That shit requires you to actually have a strategy, because that boss is not going to go down in a couple turns. It is going to take, even if you like max out everything, which takes absurdly long to do anyways, you're still only going to it's still going to take like multiple turns to beat that motherfucker. And the guide I used was I used a guide for it, and I found out that I had to for one of the job where the person who has to like capture creatures to use as like to call them in to summon them as attacks. They told me like, hey, you should find a bunch of like 1% boss monsters that appear in random locations and have this really shitty encounter rate. And it's just a pain. It was a pain in the ass.
Just the grinding aspect of that. Yeah, some Final Fantasy games have that, just like obscurest stuff. Look, I'm not going to defend that Mother 3 did it, but Mother 3 did it, and they could have done it better.
Earthbound was the one that did the 1 in 128 drops.
Oh yeah, that
shit's the dumbest. I don't think I ever mentioned this mechanic yet, but there's you know how in Mother, like the Mother games, Mother Earthbound, 2 and Mother 3 specifically, if you're strong enough for an enemy, you'll just, when you get into a fight with them, you just auto win.
Mm-hmm.
You know that mechanic?
Yes.
Yeah. So that kind of exists in this game too. Because as you're on the overworld and you see enemies roaming around for you to run into and fight, they have these little icons above them that show how difficult they are for your current strength. And there's 4 different levels. There's one where it's like extreme danger, there's regular fight, and then there's piss easy. The piss easy guys, if you run into them, you are given the option as the battle starts up to hit your left trigger and do a smackdown, where instead of doing the fight normally, your characters just fucking throw down with them until they die. And typically the way it's set up is that once your main character finishes their starting combo, every enemy dies. It's in effect, it is the Earthbound system of, you're too strong for these assholes. Do you want to clear them out for free? And I've been using that to get level up my lesser used job so I can get the stats and the moves from that. Because the caveat with this system is that it automatically knocks everyone's experience gain down 30%. So if you're at one time, if you have no bonuses and you're all at 1 times experience gain, it'll go down to 0.7. If you have a bonus on, so it's 1.2 times, it'll be 0.9 times, stuff like that. It'll just take 0.3 off the top. But that's still very useful to level up the shit that you haven't touched yet, which is what I've been doing. And it's a very nice mechanic just in general, because I also use it to get item drops for when I want to craft stuff, because that's how you get most of your awesome weapons. And I don't think the money gets affected, so you can use that for grinding cash as well.
What about your other characters now? You've unlocked quite a few more of those since the last time we checked in.
Yeah, I have, at the moment, because of the way the game works. Eventually, Ichiban Kasuga stays in Hawaii, and he gets his party of 3 for the most part. And then Kiryu gets sent back to Japan for other reasons, and you get your own party there, with him being the lead. And what's really fucking hilarious is that the way the game plays this is that because Kiryu was hanging around Ichiban for a little bit while in Hawaii, now that he's the party leader of his own party, now he sees the enemies transform into monsters.
Imagination take hold.
Yeah, imagination take hold. And everyone gets to react to Kiryu also having fun with it. And it's just really fun. And based on the weapons that I'm getting, I think all of the returning main party members from the previous game are going to come back.
So all of them.
Yeah, except for maybe the option. I don't know about the optional character. The optional character may be gone for this game.
Oh.
She's doing like a business trip right now or whatever the fuck. But because I'm getting weapons for classes that I know were on another character. Like, I was like, oh, I know this class. That was on this character previous game, which means they have to be coming back, right?
Yeah, right.
I want to see them again because they're great. And something that Kiryu gets to do, is that he gets to do what's called the Memoirs of a Dragon, where he, like, does shit and helps people out as normal, or it's his stuff. It's his sub stories for him specifically
in his hometown.
Not hometown. This is his hometown is Kamurocho.
Okay, so no, it's not Kamurocho. We are very far from Kamurocho. So
no, actually, you can go back to Kamurocho for stuff like that, and that's like something you get access to. You can do that, which is like a major thing you want to do to fully develop him, because he gets his own personality development, but it's specifically tailored to his 3 styles. Again, we're rebuilding the Dragon of Dojima's fighting styles for the goddamn 7th time, 10th time. I don't fucking know. He keeps forgetting. Somebody stop this man from forgetting everything. You'll run into a lot of these memoirs are him running into people he once met. So in the previous game, you're running into characters that are like legacy characters of other Yakuza games. And one of them is Lao Ka Long from like Yakuza 3 and 1, I want to say. He's like a major bad guy that actually tortures Kiryu, and then he gets a bullet in the brain. Except, as you find out in Yakuza 7, he is now an illegal weapons dealer that you can buy top tier shit from. And Kiryu, his party is like, oh, we should go talk to this weapons dealer who's down here. He has some top tier shit. We should do that to equip ourselves. And Kiryu just goes along with it because he doesn't know shit.
Right.
But we get down there, and there's the man, and Kiryu immediately has like a memory. Is like, what the fuck? Because he's like, as a weapons dealer, he calls himself Chow Ka Long, which is like just a little bit different from his actual name. And so Kiryu's like remembering who Lao Ka Long was and what kind of shit he did.
Right.
And he's like, oh fuck, this better not be him. I know he got a bullet in the brain, but if this is him, I can't deal with this. So he very quickly is just like, look, if you're not going to let me buy weapons, then I'll just head off. I don't need to be here anyways.
Right.
But Lao Ka Long,
the ghost of his past haunting him, yeah.
Yeah, a ghost of his past of a previous bastard who tortured him. And he's like, look, if I can't get weapons from you just because I'm a stranger, then I'm just going to walk off. It's fine. I don't need to be here. Because he's like, I don't want to put up with this motherfucker again. Understandably so, because I'm going to continue going, but like Lao Ka Long realizes it's Kiryu, and immediately is just like, all right, so if you want to buy my weapons, we're going to have to get into a fight, because that's how I test your mettle to determine if you're worth it. But that's more him getting to fight Kiryu again, like to get out to like have his closure or whatever the fuck.
Right.
So you fight Lao Ka Long again, and he is a fucking boss fight. He is absurd. Like, he does, like, I fought him basically as soon as I could when I got down in Japan. And, like, so I had my 4 characters. We were like 5 levels above what his stated level was. That didn't mean shit because he was still taking off like 70% of my HP every attack. And I had to use 2 revives to, like, get through it. Because he was fucking shit up. But as you're fighting him, his theme from Yakuza 3 is playing. And it's just it's fucking awesome. But once you beat him, and he's one fucking amazing boss fight, Kiryu and him have like a little talk, and he's just like, don't you know who I fucking am, you son of a bitch? We fought to the death. I'm Lao Ka Long, but like Kiryu cuts him off after he says Lao. He's like, for all I care, your name is Chao Ka Long, and my name is Suzuki whatever. That's all we need to know about each other. We're both from the underworld. Got it? And he's basically just doing this whole, like, he does this thing where he knows it's Lao knows it's Kiryu, and he's just like, they're basically in hidden speak talking to each other like, it's over. Like, the past is gone.
Yep.
Powerful. It's just like to talk. It's very powerful. And then Lao Ka Long is like, all right, fine. Yeah, I have really good weapons, the best of the best. Some would say you could even take out the Dragon of Dojima with them. And I'm just like, haha. He's very much just like, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
This happens to a few of your old companions in this town. There's a bartender as well, which I sat in for the cutscene on. You were showing me.
Oh, yeah. You didn't sit in on it with me. I showed you a YouTube video. It's very good. Yeah. But that's another character that dies, I think, in Yakuza 3. But here's what's also funny. I found out that the bartender in Hawaii is also a character who was supposed to have died from Yakuza 3 or something.
Huh.
So it's just a lot of... Yakuza 3 has, like, the lowest body count because everyone keeps coming back alive. It's just everyone's back, man. I don't know. Shit just didn't happen there.
It's nice. No death was permanent. It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah. A bullet to the head? Yeah, it's just a flesh wound. Thanks, Black Knight.
Yeah.
I'm going to bite your head off.
Better make it quick. Better do it in one shot.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. It took more than that.
Better make it count. Better kill me in one shot. Oh, my God.
Thank you for listening to this episode. We are hosted on mask31.dev/the-Reddmasq-podcast. You can also find us on Pocket Casts and wherever great podcasts are found.